Hi everyone, Funtime Pottery here, and today we're going to show you how to make this lovely bunny bowl just in time for Easter. You will just get your clay kit from us, just give us a call and we can get you a clay kit. And we are going to start with our clay. You are going to give it a little bash about just to bring it to life. I have been using this piece, so I'm going to start in with it. And you're going to you twist about 3/4 of your clay. So I've got a big ball and a small piece, right? And this one I'm going to make into a nice round ball. We're going to make a pinch pot, and that's going to be our start for our bowl. So thumb in, push down, set it on the table, and you turn. And while you're turning, you're pinch your fingers. Okay, and once you get it opened up, then you can start, put all your fingers in there and push the bottom out so you're making a bowl shape. So I'm pushing out the bottom with my thumb and getting a nice bowl. Okay, just keep working at it. Don't go too deep so that you go through the bottom of your bowl. You don't want to do that. You want to have a nice shaped bowl in here. So just press your walls up and out. And once you've got a good sized bowl, then just give it a little tap like this. And you're going to use water, and you're going to get rid of all your crinkles and all creases and make it nice and smooth. So water on your fingers, just a little, not too much water. If you have too much water, you just get a goopy mess. So not too much water, and you can press quite firmly. Put your fingers on the inside while you're pressing the outside, just to make it stay nice and stable. And just smooth out all your bumps, a little bit of water at the time. Okay. And just make it all nice and smooth. Mine isn't going to be as smooth as yours because you're going to take your time and make it nice and smooth. So I'm going to let this do for mine. I'm just pressing any little cracks I see. I'm just taking them out, and here we go. There we go. So we've got a nice bowl. It's going to be a good bowl to put your little Easter eggs in. All those mini eggs. Oh, yum. So nice and smooth. And then we are going to make some feet. So if you look at this guy, he's got 2 feet on the sides. And how I made the feet was I just took a little ball, 2 balls about the same size. So just make 2 balls. You want them to be roughly the same size, and then I just press them out to be a long shape. Squeeze them in at the sides and just press them out to make feet. A bigger ball, you'll get longer feet. You just make your feet whatever size you want. I might want these a wee bit longer, so I'm just flattening them with my fingers. And same, just flatten it out with your fingers. Make your feet shape. Okay, so I've got 2 feet. One's a little longer than the other, so I'll just pull this one out. That's the nice thing about clay, right? You can just pull it out. Now I'm going to make it nice and smooth with a little bit of water on my finger. Just nice and smooth. any cracks. My hands are quite warm. It's quite warm in here today because the kiln fired, so my clay's getting very crackly looking. Then I'm going to take my toothpick and I'm going to draw a little mark on the inside, like a little foot. Okay, so just 2 little marks on the inside. You can add little toes if you want. Just use your toothpick. Remember, don't go right through. Okay, so I've got my feet. Now I'm going to decide where on my bowl to attach them. And to attach anything, you do wet, score, and then you stick. So everywhere you want to stick it, like you're sticking 2 feet on here, you wet, you score. Remember, you're just roughing up your clay with your toothpick, and then you're going to stick. Okay, so just press it down and smooth it into the bottom of your bowl. You can leave it so that it's sticking up like this. And if you've taken off your mark, your little foot mark, just put it in again with your toothpick. And then the other one, you wet, you score, and then you stick it, wet and score and stick. Always wet, score and stick. And this one's going on right there. And pull a little bit down onto your bowl just so that it sticks. Remember, when clay dries, it shrinks, and when it shrinks, that's when your foot or anything that you've attached on there is going to fall off. So just make sure you press it on quite well. And there's your feet. Now we're going to make our head, and our head is going to be right opposite in between our 2 feet. So you take your clay and twist yourself off a head, not too big. And because it's a solid ball, we have to put some holes in it so the air can get in there to dry it. Otherwise, if it doesn't get dried properly inside, when it goes in the kiln, it will go kaboom. So we are just going to wet and wet where we're sticking it, and we're going to rough it up. I'm going to set it right on the edge of this, but I'll show you, like with this guy, I pulled some of it back down so that it joined onto the bottom of his bowl. So wet and score, and then we're going to stick. And with my fingers, if you can see, I'm pulling some of the clay down from the back of his head, and I'm attaching it to the back of the bowl, just like that, so that the head will stay on. Do you see? And just make it nice and smooth. And just for good luck, I'm going to put another little hole right in under his chin, just so that he can dry. So I stuck a little hole right in there. It's very important that the inside of that ball can get dried. Okay, so that's our head. Now we have to make 2 ears. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of clay and I'm going to flatten it out. Just using the heel of my hand, just flatten it out. And there's about how thick it is. And now I'm going to draw 1 ear, just one. So there, it's just like a big teardrop. And then I'm going to cut this one out using my toothpick. And then I'm going to use this ear I'm going to set it down and use it like a template to make another ear. So they're both about the same size. Okay, so now I've got 2 ears, so just cut it out. Alright, so I've got 2 ears. This one looks a little bigger, but that's okay. I can trim it with my toothpick. Okay, and then I am going to use the water, just very little water, always remember, never use too much. And I'm just going to smooth out the edges of both my ears. I trimmed that one a little too much. Okay. And then on the inside, I'm just going to draw, just trace around it. It'll be your little pink bit in there. Same on your other ear. Okay, and then we have to wet, score, and stick. And this time we're going to set our ears. You can sort of set them on to see where you like them on the back of your head. Okay, and then we wet and we score. So we just rough up that clay and we wet and score, and then we're going to stick this ear on however you want it to stand up. So you see, I'm smoothing the clay down into the back of his head. I'm going to point this ear a little, it doesn't look quite so pointy. And same with this one, wet, score, just a wee bit more water, and then smooth that ear out so that it's attached. Okay. And if you've pressed away your marks, you can just draw them in again. Okay, so here's my bunny and his ears, and I've smoothed it right down the back. And then we have to give him a little nose, so just take a piece of clay. And you always wet it, rough it up. Same with your little nose, wet it and rough it up, and then you can press on a little nose. And you can make 2 little eyes. So I've just got 2 little balls for his eyes. And wet where you're going to set them, and rough them up. And just press them on. You'll flatten them out a little bit when you press them on, but there's nothing you can do if you want them to stay there. Okay, and then you can use your toothpick just to give him a little line coming down to his mouth and a little smile. And you can draw him on some whiskers if you would like. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. We have a nice little bunny bowl. And like before, you will let him dry slowly, and just nice and slowly you can put your plastic wrap over him and let him dry slowly. If he dries too fast, he will crack. So just every now and then take your plastic wrap off. If you have a little bit of clay left over, maybe you would like to make a couple of little eggs that would go in there. But remember, we can't have solid ones, so you can make some eggs, put a hole in them. Okay, so you would just push your toothpick into the bottom of your egg so that it gets a hole in there. You can make it nice and smooth. You can use your toothpick and draw little zigzag lines on there if you want. And then after they're dry, so I just decorated it with some zigzag lines. And then after they're dried, you can pick up some paint and we will glaze them and fire them for you. Okay, so make sure you ring in and get your clay kit to make your bunny bowl just in time for Easter. Okay, bye-bye.